Jesus Christ. Welcome to the morning edition.
What did you just do? Like a sound effect of horror movie?
No, I did sound effects of
Just the movie.
the
not
movie
horror.
that we watched. You don't think this was a horror movie?
Are you kidding me? Is that a horror movie?
Yeah, it's a horror movie with a government cover-up twist.
And you said that Green Room is not a horror movie. And you're calling that a horror movie? This is not a horror movie.
This was a
What does it say here?
Hitchcockian movie.
No, it's not.
Yeah? What do you mean, no, it's not? Have you ever watched... What
Where does
Hitchcock
it say?
movies have you seen?
I watched a few.
Which ones?
What is it, again to test my intelligence?
Yeah, you just said you've watched a few Hitchcock's movies. It's an intelligence test.
I watched Psycho, and I watched the Birds, and I watched the Rear Window.
Okay.
Is it enough for you?
That's all you have to say.
Okay.
Was Rear Window a horror movie?
Bow while I'm doing that?
Bow?
Yeah.
No, curtsy. What? A curtsy. That's what a girl would do. And a bow. Okay, hey, we're recording during the day, but we're fighting like it's at night. This is Yael and Matt recap stuff.
Recap fights.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to recap all the arguments that she starts for the podcast next time. Every November, we're going to re-listen to one of our October podcasts. And
No, Matt is pretty annoying because he doesn't do anything besides watching the movies and picking not horror movies.
okay, this is a Brian DePalma film. He did Carrie. He did all sorts of creepy movies, and this is about a person who does sound effects for horror movies.
That's the only
No, there's a murderer that is off the rails who gets off on killing women.
Thrilled ones.
He kills women. He stabs the shape of the Liberty Bell in their stomachs after strangling them. That's kind of a horror thing, don't you think? The movie we watched was Blowout. It's from 1981. Stars John Travolta, Dennis Franz, Nancy Allen, and John Lithgow. Pretty all-star studded cast. I liked it. I liked
the movie was okay. I didn't say I didn't like the movie, but it's not a horror movie.
All right.
It's a movie to recap in November.
It's not a slasher movie, but it's a movie about
It's not a scary movie.
a killer. What do you mean it's not a scary movie? There's tension when she...
It's amazing. It's amazing that you're thinking that this is a horror movie, but Green Room is not a horror movie.
Yeah. Okay, be amazed. Be amazed.
All right, people of the world, please help me here. Help me.
All right, well, what do you want to do?
Say,
Slasher
you were
movie
right.
October?
What?
All right, you were right.
Thank you.
Slasher movie October? Is that what you want?
No, I want scary movies.
This was scary? Yeah, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know who's going to get killed
but
by
I
these
didn't know what's gonna
conspiracy
happen
government
the first
people.
time that I watched Snow White. It doesn't make it a horror movie, even though the evil queen wanted her dead.
All right,
It wasn't scary.
Snow White is not on my list.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
Sleeping Beauty is right.
Sleeping Beauty is definitely on my list. As soon as the Disney Plus app. We're sponsored by the Disney Plus app. Subscribe now. You can bundle it with Hulu and ESPN Plus for only $14.99 a month if you sign up now at Yael and Matt Recap /DisneyPlus.com.
They're gonna make you pay more if you will do that.
Yeah.
But donations are very nice. Okay, so
Oh,
Matt didn't want us to
start
write
Matt.
any notes, so...
Yeah, I didn't want to make a description of everything that was going on. I wanted to, we talked about it in the last episode, just to watch a movie, experience it, react to it. Almost watched it all the way through. You did stop to pee in the middle, but it's my fault because I made you coffee. Like a good person in the morning. Person. Yes, and we're still recording this technically before noon.
Yeah.
So, all right.
So judge by the cover.
It's sunny.
Before, I had no idea what's the movie about, so I was very excited. I said John Travolta, and I actually drew here, what is it? Like an
emoji with sunglasses on?
No, it's hearts in his eyes. Because I like John Travolta in the 80s. and it says he looks like a vampire. I'm not sure I'd watch it though.
The cover is just John Travolta screaming.
Yeah, he looks like a vampire though. Like he's.
Yeah, he doesn't have fangs. Doesn't have a.
He looks like a vampire to me.
You look like a vampire.
Not
to
you,
me.
John Travolta.
Can't you see?
Body count.
Wait, you didn't ask me to judge by the cover.
Judge by the
I
cover.
said it looks like John Travolta live at the Fillmore East. Also, Bat Boy's dad. Did you ever see Bat Boy in the National Enquirer? Well, let me show you. Everybody who is listening to this most likely has seen Bat Boy.
I don't know. This guy looks like a vampire.
Yes, because it's a bat, and vampires are associated with bats.
So you see, so I said that he looks like a vampire.
Okay.
I was right first.
Hey, I'm not criticizing your reaction. You can be right for a reaction. This is just what you thought that the cover looked
Body
like.
count.
My body count was 2.
Ooh, I said 4. I was right.
You were closest, no.
Why?
It was 6.
How 6? What? No, there
How
were 4.
6? There were 6 people who were killed in the movie. The politician gets killed in the beginning.
Yeah.
The girl that he thinks is the girl gets killed. Another girl gets killed. John Lithgow gets killed.
Who's John Lithgow?
Burke. He was the strangler.
Who's the what? Oh, okay. Yeah. So 5.
No. And then the girl gets killed. Her final victim, Nancy
Hold on.
Allen. And then the cop gets killed in the flashback when he was talking about how John Travolta gave him a wire.
Okay, so I was.
So that's 6.
I was still
You were closest. So the word right is incorrect.
First kill.
I said 43 minutes.
I was right. I said 2 minutes.
Okay, well, you were closest. Stop saying right. 13:06 was the first kill. There was a simulated kill on screen from a horror movie that was less than a minute in.
Yeah, I know.
The movie is.
Very happy.
I love the way that the movie begins because it starts like one of the movies that we watched last year, the Prowler, where there's someone outside like a dormitory. I don't know. I like God Told Me to, but someone outside of a dormitory.
I'm gonna show you the first episode, and I'm asking you what was your favorite movie from last year. You said The Prowler.
All right. Well, so
I was
it's the
ready.
point of view of someone outside a sorority house where there's a lot of sexual things going on.
Last year when we watched horror movies.
And then one typical goody two-shoes girl trying to study for an exam. And this girl's having a dance party. Another girl is having sex on the floor. And then they go inside and there's girls coming out of the shower and a girl just masturbating alone in a room. And you see a police officer get stabbed. But then we pull back and it's the movie and they're trying to get the sound right for it. Although there's a girl who's about to be murdered in the shower who has a terrible scream. And that's what one of the big problems of the movie is, the movie that they're watching. And John Travolta, as a sound guy, is supposed to try to fix it. The director is also very critical of his wind sounds and tells him, John Travolta's character tells him to, Jack is his name, that's just the sound library. He says, well, go get me some new sounds. So he does. So he goes out with his microphone and he starts recording nighttime sounds, the wind, and then he hears a couple getting a little frisky, and then they notice that he's creepily looking at them, pointing a magic wand, and they leave. Cool an owl shot, and then the inciting incident for all you screenplay students out there. Screenplay students? So what happened after that?
So, you...
Whoa, what are you texting? What are you Googling?
No, I was looking for something.
What are you looking for?
For the log line of the movie.
Okay. So he hears a bang and then screeching tires, and he sees a car drive through the guardrail and into a creek. He says, Jesus Christ! And he runs over and runs down the bridge and jumps in and swims underwater, and he sees a girl in the back
And he
seat.
still didn't take his shirt off.
Can you
I was
believe
very
that?
disappointed. With that
Yeah.
movie.
Well, he swims into water, sees a girl in the back seat, and he's trying to open the door, won't open. Then he sees a guy in the front seat bleeding and presumed dead. He's not screaming and asking for help like the girl is. So he swims down to the bottom of the creek, gets a large rock, smashes the window, and pulls her now unconscious body out and saves her. Then we cut to the hospital, and he's in there smoking cigarettes in the hospital. Nothing unusual about that. 1980s. So he's going to get discharged. He's asking about the girl and goes in to see her. She's sedated and very confused, trying to get up and leave. And he's talking to her, asks her if he can buy her a drink. And she wants to leave now. And he says, look, you got to lay down. And then then a police officer talks to him.
This, by the way, this is a good log line on
Log
IMDb.
line to the movie. All right, this is the IMDb moment with Yael Gavish.
A movie sound record is... You can say my name still?
I said Yael Gavish.
Okay. A movie sound record... I'm going to put it back and re-listen to it. I'm very influenced by... Re-listen to it. I'm very influenced by John Travolta.
Okay.
A movie sound recordist accidentally records the evidence that proves that a car accident was actually murder, and consequently find himself in danger. That's a logline.
Okay, that's like a little summary.
Yeah.
It's not a line. It's not a line.
That's a very good logline, by the way.
It's not a line.
It's a logline.
It's multiple lines.
What?
A line is one sentence.
It's one sentence. You don't have even not commas in it.
It's a long sentence.
Matt, this is a logline. Oh my God! Please
Oh my
help
God!
me with you. Help me.
It's welcome to logline time.
And then he tells me that I'm arguing.
You are arguing.
I'm trying to teach you, and you don't understand what I'm saying. I paid so far $2,400 to Emerson that they will teach me what a logline is.
Well,
how much did you pay to Emerson? You, from your money that you worked for. Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Your dad didn't pay for... You went to Emerson too, but for like,
paid money,
like stuff.
Scholarships, student loans, and all that shit.
Did you?
Yeah.
I never went to study. It was my first thing, like first time.
Yep. And now you're majoring in podcasting.
About horror, but without watching horror films. I'm not qualified to watch horror films.
Okay.
What okay? You're not qualified to pick horror films.
All right. Whatever you want. I mean, this is 31 days. I guess these are movies that I thought I'm picking movies that I've never seen based on... They were in the horror section on Amazon Prime. So talk to Jeffrey Bezos about this.
All right, I'm going to send him an email. Please watch the movies before you put them in this category.
Yeah, he seems like a busy guy. He's delivered packages to people on Sundays. It's a lot of effort.
Did you know
No,
Tarantino cast John Travolta in Pulp Fiction because he liked his performance in this movie so much?
Yeah.
Who?
There you go.
I didn't write facts.
Okay. That's fine.
Okay,
so you just tell me these things. All right, so he's in the hospital, and then he's about to leave, almost done with his cigarette, and he starts getting this. He's giving a statement to a police officer who is being very difficult to him, and is not listening to him and arguing with him. It's almost like they have a podcast together. And then just a ton of cops go in, and then a big fancy-looking politician guy, takes him to another room and tells him to just try to forget about everything that he saw. Forget about the girl that was in there. The person that died in the wreck was the man who is the governor. He was running for president, and his name is the sheet from Insidious. No. Where's my notes?
You said no notes.
I know, but I didn't take notes. I wrote a list of character names. And Governor McRyan. So Governor McRyan died, and it would be very bad for his family if he died with his hand up some playmate's skirt. This is some sort of the terminology that they give. And he says, what about the police report? That's all been taken care of. I just need you to forget what you've seen, man. No offer of a payoff. Very 80s. Just help a guy out. Omerta, code of silence. And so he agrees to it, but something's bothering him about the situation, and he can't concentrate. He goes home and he starts listening to his... Actually, no, he doesn't go home, because he goes to get the girl, and then they take off, because they're trying to avoid this whole shitstorm. So fuck all hospital protocols about keeping her for observation after being in a car accident that resulted in her being underwater and unconscious. They're just going to go out. He takes this heavily sedated woman out the back door, as arranged by the assistant to Governor McRyan. And they get in his Jeep, and he wants to bring her home, but she's worried that there's going to be all these reporters there. She doesn't know that this is a vast cover-up yet. And they don't go to his house, so they go to a motel. He tucks her into bed, and then he stays up listening to the recording, trying to make sense of it. Was it a gunshot? What was that sound? Was it the sound of the tire popping? And then it cuts to other scenes, and you see a mysterious figure taking a tire, bringing it into the auto shop, or the evidence garage where the car is, and replacing the shot out tire with a new one. So you know that there is a bit of conspiracy afoot. Now, I left out one detail. You want to tell what that detail is? After the accident, before he doesn't take off his shirt and jump in? Something that you noticed, because you're always looking at the background.
And he ran.
Wasn't somebody with him?
Like somebody... Yeah, when he jumped, there was somebody standing next to him.
It was by the bridge. He wasn't with him. He was alone.
He was standing right next to him.
No. He was by the bridge. John Travolta ran past him because he didn't see him, because he was lurking in the shadows. So this is other person of interest. Okay. What are you looking at now?
My Facebook? No, I'm kidding. No, more fun facts. So Brian DePalma was married to Nancy Allen when they did the movie.
Oh.
I'm wondering how she got the role.
She was good. She was auditioned.
Yeah, she probably had sex with him for that.
Well, he wrote and directed the movie. He could cast it. They were already married. Who cares? So she married him to be in the movie.
Maybe. When I'm gonna write a script, I'm gonna produce it. I don't know. Maybe I'll let you do a role. Only if you're gonna have sex with me.
Yeah, maybe I'll be the sound guy.
Who are you gonna have sex with for that?
Who hires the sound guy?
You.
Yes.
Now go masturbate in the room, please.
I'll go masturbate alone in a room. Like a college party is going on. Yeah. So that's... the person of interest is revealed the next day when Jack turns on the news and he sees that someone was out there taking photographs, and the story is mostly about them selling those photographs for big money to whatever, a generic version of Newsweek magazine or something that comes out the next day. It says, and then he walks past the newsstands. See, Governor McRyan's death. Governor McRyan's death pictures. Get them here. Extra, extra. And so he buys them and he takes them home, and he cuts out the pictures and shoots them for filming, gets the film made, and syncs it up to the audio that he recorded, and then just goes through it with a fine piece comb or fine tooth comb, and finally he sees a little flash in the bushes from what would have been a gunshot, and his suspicions are confirmed that shot happened, and that the governor was targeted. His tires shot out before he went into the creek and died. And he tells this to the girl who wakes up, and she is not sedated. She's very bubbly, a bit of a bimbo.
She's stupid.
She's just
Like very dumb.
like a
very...
airheaded girl, kind of maybe like a stereotype.
Like, I don't think that she would be dead at the end of the movie if she wouldn't be so stupid.
I don't think intelligence has to do with kill
is.
ability.
Yes, it is. They were walking there and she's like, oh, hey, where are we going? Let's go that way, sure.
I mean, she was deceived. We're jumping
And
ahead.
it's been like an entire day because when they met, it was daylight. When she got killed, it was really late already and very dark outside. So they spent an entire evening together.
Yeah.
Before
She had a
her.
necklace on after surviving that was a rabbit's foot, which is a symbol of good luck.
What?
She had a rabbit's foot necklace on.
What is rabbit's foot necklace?
A rabbit's foot cut off to make a necklace is a good luck charm.
Why would they do that? It's bad luck for the rabbit.
Yeah, well, rabbits are not the targeted demographic being
Rabbit's
sold
foot.
rabbit's foot necklaces. Yeah, look up why a rabbit's foot is good luck. I don't know. Rabbits get laid a lot. Maybe that's why.
Oh
But
my god, this is terrible.
That's what she had. Hey, they were big in the 80s. I had a rabbit's foot necklace.
Did you?
I also had pet rabbits. How do you think I got the necklace?
Who? What? Didn't
Who?
understand.
What?
What?
I said I had a rabbit's foot necklace when I was a kid, and I also had pet rabbits. How do you think I got the necklace?
What's pet rabbits?
Oh, well, a pet is an animal
Oh, pet.
that you would
Rabbit.
have that lives in your house.
Okay.
And a rabbit
This
is
is
an
terrible.
animal.
And this thing is really bad. I don't want to.
Are you just Googling images of it, which is not
Yes.
good for a podcast? Or you
It's terrible.
look up why rabbit's foot necklaces are
Why?
good luck charms? That's what people pay to hear.
They're not paying. A rabbit's foot is still considered as token of good luck because it reminds its owner to be courageous in adverse situations. Courageous.
You nailed the adverse part, though.
Terrible.
Terrible! Yeah, so, and she does have good luck for a period of time, because when she leaves, she goes about her daily business. Jack leaves for the day. They promise to have a drink later, or she's going to be at her girlfriend's house. Jack can call her. She's in the book. Back then, there was a thing called phone books, and you would find people's numbers by looking them up by the last name. And she's being followed by this guy, Burke, this mysterious figure, who is the man who changed out the tires, so presumably is a part of this vast cover-up in the death of Governor McRyan. And then lucky Nancy Allen, lucky for her, she has frizzy 80s hair and a loud fur coat. Don't know what animal. Someone else has that very same hairstyle, and this guy Burke follows her, takes her away, strangles her. They fall down a hill together, and then he begins stabbing her in the stomach. And we don't see the pattern that he's stabbing, but we learn from news reports later, stabbed in the shape of the Liberty Bell. And this movie takes place in Philadelphia. I thought it was New York at first, but it's Philadelphia, and it's on the around Liberty Day. They're celebrating the Liberty Bell. Philadelphia is real big on that. And he calls the campaign manager or something for Governor McRyan and tells them that he is tying up the loose ends. He killed her and made it look like what's been going on is a series of sex crimes that are happening in the area. He doesn't realize he fucked up yet, but the guy that he's talking to doesn't want anything to do with this. He's trying to distance himself from it, disavow it. Is afraid that he doesn't want to be tied back to this, and so he says, "I've never seen you. Don't call me again," and they hang up. What are you doing?
Thinking
Okay.
about the next movies.
Okay. So this is just me.
No,
Even
I don't
though
know.
I
I
didn't
didn't
take
make
notes?
notes almost, so I don't have anything.
Okay. Well, I mean, were there aspects of the movie that you liked, or things that stuck out
Yes,
to you
John
of
Travolta
interest?
is so handsome. That's what I wrote.
Yeah, but there's more lines than that.
It's important.
Okay.
Otherwise, I wouldn't
He's a
have
heartthrob,
any
yes.
interest in the movie. I was just waiting the entire movie for him to take off his shirt. The frog didn't sound like a frog to me.
Okay. He records, that's when
It
he's
sounded like-
recording before the accident.
I'm like, no, it's more like
Bullfrog. It didn't say Bud, Wise, or Yes. Yeah.
He smokes in a hospital. The police officer is so stupid in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then after that, there was another police officer who was very stupid.
It was
think
more
it's like a critical
antagonistic. Yeah.
They both were like very. It's not antagonistic. It was like stupidity. Yeah.
The second police officer wasn't really
What do you think?
stupid.
What do you think? No, that stupid thing that you're bringing to me, like this tape. He even didn't watch the tape. He already blamed him that he's stupid.
Oh, because the tape was blank.
No, after that, before he watched the tape, when he went there.
Yeah.
And then another note, take your shirt off, John. and then I was thinking that the girl had like a big part in the murder of the governor.
All right, so we learn after
And that's
the
it. That's the only thing I wrote.
after the skeezy photographer guy is making money, we learn that he was in cahoots with the girl. They didn't intend the car to get shot out and drive into the creek, but they had staged it so he got caught in bed with her, and he got caught in bed with other politicians. That the guy, what's his name, Manny Carp, would take photos of them and catch them and use them for blackmail. And he was also a bridal photographer. He worked in a bride shop called Blue Brides, which was the third of 3 bride shops in a row on one stretch of land in downtown Philly, which kind of reminded me of Piano Row in Boston. There used to be a bunch, 13 different piano shops there. And the equivalent of that for
We had
brides
in
to
Tel
shop
Aviv.
around. 3 bride shops in a row?
No, so Ben Yehuda, it's the street of hairdressers, and then you have just like, I think probably around 50 hairdressers in one street.
Really?
And all Florentine, all my neighborhood, it's like you have a street that it's only like lamps and like lights shops. And then you have one street that it's only repair shops, which I don't know why is it good for like businesses.
Lamp repair shops?
No, like lights shops, and then one street is only like repair shop, like I don't know, like Ace and stuff, but like local places, not like a big
Yeah.
brand. And one store it's like furnitures. One street like Herzl, it's like mostly like couches.
Herzl Street?
Yeah,
Herzl.
Herzl. Yeah,
It's a viral video from
from 2
Israel.
years ago. already.
so we learned that they got together and he's scheming her. He's trying to get this $6,000 from the news magazines. He tells her that it's $3,000 so he can keep more of the money. And then So Jack
That's why
finds
we
out about
shouldn't
that.
trust you, men.
So Jack finds out about that, and because he goes to the bridal shop to talk to the guy, because he needs to get the original film. Right now he just has the stills of it. He wants to get the original film to sync up to the sound and to show people that this is what's happened. Because what he created by taking the pictures out and just filming them is a rough draft. I mean, it's a creation from stills, so it could be manipulated. It could be considered to be doctored footage, so it's not as believable. It's not hard evidence. But if you had the actual film of it happening, then you get somewhere. So he goes to the bridal shop, and there's a cop waiting
I have
there.
a question.
Yeah.
We didn't say bleak ending. I said we didn't keep going. Nudity and sex. What did you say?
Oh, I said yes.
Me too. Bleak
All right,
ending.
this is our workshop that we do. We guess if there's nudity and sex, bleak ending, animal death, and then we guess the log line.
What did you say about the bleak ending?
I said no,
Me too.
but we were
Which is
both
good.
wrong.
Okay. I still don't. I'm not good with the bleak ending. Animal death.
I said no.
Me too.
Okay, we were both right.
We're both wrong. That rabbit.
The rabbit was
And
killed
that's fair.
a year ago. Yeah. My guess log line is if it's too loud, you're dead.
So you knew what's the music? What's the?
I knew that he was an audio engineer.
I have no idea what's going on
That's
in
it.
any of the movies. I picked them because.
Also blowout, like blown out speakers. So,
Okay, I don't know.
and there's a cheesy sticker from the 90s. If it's too loud, you're too old. So
Huh?
that was a playoff on that. If it's too loud, you're dead. So he finds out that she was in on this conspiracy, and he sees pictures of her tits, which he is very complimentary of. And he confronts her about that, and she's not too happy about it. And they argue. And meanwhile, he's distracted from work. He's been obsessing about this whole thing. He's in and out of the film office and getting yelled at by the director because he's still trying to find that perfect scream. He has two girls in a recording booth trying to match the scream. It's not going good. And
It's fun.
maybe the funniest part is that one of them is screaming and the other one is pulling her hair, and it's still not good enough. And so,
So he tells.
yeah.
He tells him like, "Can you change?
You
You're
have to
gonna pull the
switch."
hair. You're gonna scream."
Yeah, and it's still not good. And then he gets approached by this guy, Frank Donahue. I don't know if that's a little salute to Phil Donahue, who is a TV talk show host / reporter, who from his sources inside the police department, he finds out that this guy Jack, he knows something, so he needs to get that to him, and they'll put him on TV, and he could expose this conspiracy, and the truth will be out there. Jack is hesitant. He doesn't know what to believe. He doesn't really trust the guy, but he thinks more about it. And he thinks, well, if I need to get this original film. So he talks to Nancy Allen again. I don't remember her name. Well, Sally. He talks to Sally again about trying to talk to Manny and get the tape. So she agrees to do that to help this out. Goes over to Manny's house, played by Dennis Franz, who's great. Rest in peace. And he's just a total slob, opportunist. He's got stains all over his wife beater. He's drinking JB from the bottle, and tries to get her to go away to Atlantic City with him. She's a little skeezed out by it. And then she says, "I need a drink." He says, "Take the bottle." And then he starts forcing himself on her. And she takes the bottle and smashes it over his head. And the bottle was empty because there's no liquid that pours out. Film school nitpick. Oh, yeah. And so he's passed out. So she takes the film back to Jack. And he's very excited. They cue it all up. And then they're in business. So he calls the newsman.
Since you said like, I think I have allergies and I don't feel very well, but I was very concentrated now in something really dumb. You said JB from the bottle. And I didn't Jenny from the block.
Yes,
The song.
he was drinking liquid.
I'm still JB from the bottle.
No. She never says JB in the song.
I know. Okay. It's Jenny
He
from
drinks
the block.
J from the B.
This
I don't
is
think the
JB
B in
from the bottle.
JB stands for Jack Daniels.
JB, it's not Jack Daniels.
I know. Jimmy Walker Black.
What?
Jimmy Walker Black.
Who's Jimmy Walker?
I think it's Jimmy Walker.
No, there's JB and there's Johnny Walker. It's not
All right.
Johnny Walker.
JB whiskey.
It's a whiskey.
Yeah.
It's the name of a whiskey. Like Jack Daniels, like
Yeah, I know.
Johnny from the block. Johnny from the Walker. Never mind, it was a dumb thing that got stuck in my head.
J and B whiskey.
I know,
J and B.
But you say JB.
Yeah, J and B. J and B. What does J and B stand for? Glad you asked.
For Jenny from the block.
No, it's for the names Giustorini, an Italian who had followed his heart to London and subsequently became a wine and liquor merchant, and Brooks, who purchased the business a few generations later. It came out just after the end of Prohibition, so it's always been legal. J and B. Scumbags drink it when blackmailing politicians and trying to make money on news TV shows. So she smashes that over his head, takes the thing, they sync it up. He makes a call to Frank Donahue.
There's also Jim Beam.
Yes, but this was J and B.
I know, but why do they always use the J?
I don't know.
Like Johnny Walker, Jack Daniels, Jim Beam, JB,
J and B.
Blowjob. No.
No, it's a type of drink. But
Jenny
I
from
don't
the
think
block.
I don't think you can buy it from a bottle.
J
Why
and
do you
B.
keep quoting Jennifer Lopez?
Because it's J and B, Jenny from the block.
No, there's no and.
I'm still. What's going on? There's construction
Jenny and
people
the block.
outside. Construction people outside, and I hate them.
Hey, well,
If the
do you
building
hate them?
is falling,
Do you hate them
there's
because
footage.
Burke positioned himself as a construction worker, and he also erased all of
Jenny
Jack's
from
tapes, except for the one that he had hidden in his ceiling. He erased all his sound effects library, devastating his local business, and then also deleted the one that he was given to the unhelpful police officer that you already talked a little bit about. And so he's waiting for this guy to call him back, Frank Donahue, to figure out the TV thing. But his phone has been tapped, and Burke is responsible for it. So he blocks calls from going in. He can't call out. He records the conversation and then calls up Sally, posing as Frank Donahue. Says they want to meet, wants her to bring the tape to him. And she stops at Jack's, tells him that's what,
It's a boy.
tells Jack what he wants to do. He seems a little hesitant, but he says, all right, you know what? We're going to wire you, and I'll give you a copy. I'm making a copy of it, and then we'll figure something out. And he only makes her a copy of the audio because he doesn't have enough time to copy the video, so he gives her the original film. And now this is something that I'd skipped over, but we'd flash back to earlier when Jack and Sally were getting to know each other. He talked about how he worked for the police, but he wasn't a cop. He was a sound man who was wiring an undercover cop, and it went bad because the guy got nervous and his wire was malfunctioning. So he took it off in the bathroom, and the guy he was attempting to record and entrap or found out and killed him. He hanged him in the bathroom with the wire. So Jack's a little scarred from that. So he's very careful to get the wire in, and he's listening for the car, and she gets taken away. Like the guy's like, I think we're being followed. We got to walk. This is this is Burke posing as Frank Donahue. While he's waiting for her, he kills a prostitute in the bathroom, like a serial killer in a movie.
But he kills only girls that look just like her.
She didn't look just like her.
Yes,
she
she did.
didn't look that similar to her at all. You just think that all white girls from the 80s look alike. It looked nothing like her. She wouldn't just go to this place and start soliciting like a prostitute
She looked
for a
just like
sailor to be blown in a phone booth, which is what she does.
It's okay. She still looks like her.
No, and does not look like her. So they go off and they take the subway, and Jack is relying on his headphones. He's listening to where they're going. He's trying to figure out clues to what subway line they're on, and he figures it out, but just as the train is leaving the station. So then he runs and gets in his Jeep and goes on a ridiculous chase trying to catch up to where the subway train is. But there's roads closed off. They're in the middle of this Liberty Day Jubilee. He's riding through parades. He's knocking over horses or scaring them so they knock over. People are jumping out of the way. It was a fun scene. A lot of hijinks.
She looks like her. Yes.
And but good. You found the picture pretty good.
I know.
They both are white and have hair.
Curly hair, it's the same color.
But completely different voices. Completely different voices, though.
Who is she?
That's Sally.
Yeah. She still looks the same.
Okay, whatever. And so it culminates with him crashing into a storefront that has an effigy of someone being hanged with a noose and blindfolded. I'm thinking that this dates back to the Revolutionary War, and this is supposed to be an effigy of a customs agent, perhaps. So he passes out. We're thinking, wow, is he dead? Is it that bleak? Does everyone die right away? And no, he's just in the back of an ambulance later, while Sally has been taken to where the fireworks are going to be going off. That's where this reporter is leading her. And yes, it is dark by then. So give her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they met up on the subway right before dusk. And
it was light. It wasn't like right before dusk.
I don't know.
It was like noon.
Could have been a long subway ride. Have you ever taken the subway in Philadelphia?
Nope. But I took it in Boston, and I can believe what you're saying.
Yeah. So they end up down by the pier where the fireworks are going to be. Travolta wakes up, plugs in his headphones, and jumps out of the ambulance and is running on foot and trying to figure out where she is in this massive crowd. Is it's pretty next to impossible. And he eventually sees them on the top because she's screaming, and he figures out, based on, he's a sound guy. He uses his instincts. He figures it out and sees her screaming by the top of a building just in front of a giant American flag and the Liberty Bell.
Yeah, but if she would be smart, she would say something. I'm next to the huge American flag. She didn't say anything. That's what I'm saying.
She was dumb. In the middle of being attacked, so I don't know.
Collect yourself, woman.
Oh, well. So he gets up there and he sees him standing over her with the... he had an ice pick in the first one, so probably something like similar, and about to stab her, and then he grabs his arm and stabs him, Burke, several times, killing him, pushes the body off, and then you see a line across Nancy Allen's neck. He's too late, because that's what Burke does. He strangles him first and then stabs the pattern of the Liberty Bell. And so, Jack is obviously devastated. Fireworks are going off dramatically in the background in juxtaposition to with celebration and sadness. And then we cut to the next scene, the final scene. Tell us what happened.
What, when John Travolta is sitting in the snow?
Oh, okay. There's go from where we are, yeah.
He's thinking about life, sitting on a bench in the snow.
He's listening.
And listening
to his recording.
The last recording of Sally. And then he's in the studio working on the... You just say it.
The same movie that they were trying to get the screams before. And John Travolta plays the screams of...
The closure.
Of Sally getting murdered. And it's perfect. And the director is happy for the first time. And John Travolta is not happy. He's shook. He's devastated. Himself. He probably feels terrible.
Scream.
Yeah.
So basically he did everything for that.
It's a perfect scream. He went all out to get that one soundbite.
Yeah, he's in charge on the killing the governor.
It's his fault.
He hired everybody.
It all came back to him.
Only for the perfect scream.
He set up this whole thing. Yeah. And
that's my conclusion.
One thing that I wrote this down earlier because the director is talking about the other movies that Jack has done sound work on, and they include Bloodbath, Bloodbath 2, Bad Day at Blood Beach, and Bordello of Blood. Was that in your IMDb? Did it say anything about Bordello of Blood?
I don't know.
Because in the 90s, there was a Tales from the Crypt movie.
I like that you said it. It's my IMDb.
It's your IMDb.
I'd love to have them.
Bordello of Blood was a Tales from the Crypt movie in the 90s that starred Dennis Miller and Corey Feldman about vampire prostitutes in a bordello. So I'm wondering, and I think it's a safe bet, that they kind of borrowed the line from Blowout. It's a little bit of a tribute, which I thought was cool.
The Black Dahlia. I like that movie.
Well, that's based on a real story, you know that?
Yeah, I know. I like that movie.
See, he's done many other horror movies besides Blowout.
It's not that horror, Black Dahlia.
It's not. It's a
Impossible.
It's a devastating murder that has never been solved in Hollywood.
Still not like a horror movie.
Yeah. I'm just gonna look up Bordello of Blood on my IMDb.
Thing, a video anthology. You think this is like a horror?
Bruce Springsteen. Depends.
Yeah, there's Courtney Cox in it.
Oh, that one, Dancing in the Dark.
Bruce's fan. What?
Dancing in the Dark.
No.
That's the video that Courtney Cox is in.
It calls Bruce Springsteen Video Anthology.
Yeah, an anthology is a collection of videos. She was in
one of them.
She was in the Dancing in the Dark film.
I don't know.
I know. That's why I'm telling you.
Okay. No, you asked me. Body double. Scarface. Oh, he did a lot of things. Good job. Him. Yeah, but beside Carrie, I don't see like a real... Alright.
I think that he did
Do you have anything else to say?
another John Travolta movie. No, just trying to find the Bordello Blood thing, but I don't see it. I don't even see a place for fun facts.
Okay.
Did you know? Trivia.
Now people are losing it.
People are losing it. Okay. Well,
losing us. We're losing them. Okay, thank you so much for listening. That was a movie that is not a horror movie. Hopefully the next one will be scary. But guess what? Probably yes, because the next one is my list and my list. I picked horror movies on my list. So yeah, wanted you to know that.
there it is. The character played by John Travolta in the Brian DePalma film Blowout lists Bordello of Blood as one of the movies he worked on in the past. Boom. Fun facts recognized, repeated for the people at home. Follow Yael, Matt Recap, Twitter and Instagram.
Yes.
And yeah, criticize us. Tell us what you think.
Yes, please, but only good criticism.
No.
That's what I like.
All right.
Thank
bye.
you for listening. Bye.